Are you a Star Wars fan? Well, have I got news for you. What if I told you that there was a Star Wars movie, a great Star Wars movie at that, one that you have never seen? Don't believe me? Yeah, Solo isn't that bad. It's just yet another victim of Disney's Star Wars. You see, this film was riddled with behind-the-scenes oopsies such as director swaps during the movie's filming, reshoots, and of course, Alden Ehrenreich. The recasting of Han Solo certainly set off a lot of fans, including me when I was too young to formulate my own opinions. I don't think it was very fair to him because he ended up doing a great job, which we'll get to later. Along with the fan-base division caused by The Last Jedi, the awful scheduling of this movie, and the literal Star Wars boycott that may or may not have been caused by everyone's favorite director, Solo was essentially set up to fail. But we were all wrong, the movie was awesome as fuck. If you can't tell, I absolutely love this movie. But why? How could someone who likes Star Wars love this? Contrary to stupid belief, Han Solo in this movie is actually great. The actor portraying him, Alden Ehrenreich, did an excellent job, and the reason for that is because he didn't just fake his way to victory, masquerading as the Han Solo we know and love. Instead, he did his own thing. This is a movie about a young Han Solo. Everybody's favorite smuggling smuggler was not always the man he is in the original trilogy. He, too, was once a youngling like you. Therefore, he must be portrayed like that. Ehrenreich's performance is of a plucky young hotshot pilot who's a little too cocky for his own good, similar to Luke at the start of A New Hope in a lot of ways.
If you apply for the Imperial Navy, but most recruits go into the infantry.
I'm gonna be a pilot. Best in the galaxy.
10,000? We can almost buy our own ship for that.
But who's gonna fly it, kid? You?
You bet I could. I'm not such a bad pilot myself. We don't have to sit here and listen.
I don't have a hard time believing Han was like this. This movie really sells you on it. Throughout the movie, you get to watch as Han evolves into the one we know in the originals. By the end, he feels like he's really matured, and you can see him becoming more bitter and losing all that stupid hero's journey optimism he had. My favorite scenes with him are the sabacc scenes. They're really engaging for some reason. I don't know, maybe I just like gambling. Han's real confident the entire time, and he wins himself a big old pile of space money. Then he bets it all for the Falcon and dies. You see, Lando was cheating, and Han knew it because he used his thinking powers to discover that he couldn't have had that card to defeat him.
Fighting against an unfair opponent is kind of dog shit. And people don't want to play against dog shit people.
At the end of the movie, Han comes back with his newfound character growth. He knows Lando is secretly dog shit, so he's gonna cheat again. He uses this to his advantage, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike. Han even taunts him, because the entire time he knows he's gonna win, but Lando still doesn't realize what's going on. Then Han hits him with this.
You got everything you need there, pal? Not bad. Not bad. You know, if you'd only had this little green Psylop, you would have beaten this.
The face Donald Glover makes right here is just perfect. That is the face of a man who's just realized he's dog shit. Anyway, yeah, Han Solo in this movie is perfect. He's smart, he's cool, and he's funny as hell too. Honestly, this entire movie is funny as hell.
I'm Han. Nobody cares.
I will say, the way that Han gets his last name is both cool and stupid at the same time.
What's your name, son?
Han.
What? Who are your people?
I don't have people. I'm alone.
Solo.
It's so unnecessary, but I don't know. I just kind of like it. Anyway, time to talk about... Han is not the only winner of this movie. There are a lot of characters here. The movie cycles through them pretty fast, but half of the important characters in this die, so if you don't like them, you can find peace. If you do, start saying your goodbyes. There are a lot of standouts in this movie, namely Tobias Beckett. He acts as Han's mentor character for most of the film, and you can really see where Han adopted a lot of his character traits. But it's not like he's an exact copy of Han. He has his own flair and style that I've never seen from another Star Wars character. His actor does a great job at portraying him. He spends most of the movie trying to show Han that he can't really trust anyone, no matter how much he wants to. And at the end of the movie, when he tries to betray Han, well...
I hope you're still paying attention, because now I'm going to tell you the most important...
Guess he taught him too well. He's just so cool, and I wish I could have more of this character. There are tons of other characters I could talk about, like the Jon Favreau alien that dies just when I was getting to know him, or Beckett's girlfriend who dies just when I was getting to know her. But I want to talk about the main villain. He doesn't get a lot of screen time, but what he does get leaves a fat impact. The villain is Dryden Voss, a crime boss who is both stealing Han's girlfriend and working for Darth Maul for some reason. Every second he spends on screen is terrifying, and while watching I was always worried he was going to kill someone. He also gets an awesome fight at the end, which makes up for the lack of lightsaber battles in this movie. Another big highlight of this movie is Chewbacca. He's in most Star Wars movies and is a really popular character, but let's be honest, he doesn't really ever get to do much. He just kind of makes noises and stands around and is in Revenge of the Sith for some reason. But in this movie, he actually affects the plot. He actually has motivation, something I never thought I'd be saying about Chewbacca.
Maybe they should call it Chewbacca, a Star Wars story.
This movie moves so fast, so much happens, and you always have to be paying attention to the different motivations of each character. You never know who's gonna betray who. It makes watching this movie fill the soul with tension, but not in a way that takes away from the fun. There is some dumb stuff though. Not all characters are written equally. L337 is the worst droid in Star Wars, as well as the loudest. She's just really mean to everyone all the time. There's nothing to make up for it. She isn't that funny, and her only contribution to the Star Wars universe is that now there is robot intercourse.
I'm gonna kill myself!
Wow. At least she dies, that's a relief. But then they upload her into the Millennium Falcon, so I guess I just have to accept that now. Lando isn't bad in this movie, but I feel like Donald Glover was maybe not the best choice for this role. Look, Donald, I love you in Community, but you just aren't cut out for this.
The Calrissian Chronicles, Chapter 5.
I will say, I like how much Han and Lando just clearly hate each other in this movie.
She is a hell of a ship. I hate you. I know.
I love this movie. The only reason Han and Lando become friends is because Han scares him into it by threatening him with his Wookiee. There are other problems with this movie, like the fact that the camera has been eternally splashed with asphalt for half of the scenes, or the stupid dumb Darth Maul stuff, but it doesn't end up being that big of a deal. And I'm not just trying to say you should ignore criticism of a movie. That's stupid. All I'm saying is that the problems that this movie does have are greatly overshadowed by its strengths. Anyway, now I'm going to talk about the thing Han did in less than 12 parsecs. Something I think is really good about this movie is that it really feels like a Star Wars movie. In fact, it does the Star Wars formula amazingly, yet it still has its own voice, and is honestly the most unique of them all. It gives us everything. You get a space chase, a speeder chase, a train heist, an awesome villain with cool weapons, betrayals, a prison break, and gambling. They were able to stuff so much into this movie without it ever feeling like there's too much, or that the movie's dragging on. There are a lot of twists in this movie that I genuinely was not expecting. The best part of this movie is by far the Kessel Run sequence.
I got a really good feeling about this.
Yeah, okay, buddy. We have seen Han fly before in this movie, but never like this. The visuals are so pleasing, and everything about it is so creative. It is a perfect blend of comedy, action, cool visuals, and tension. This is a really tense scene too. Falcon crew is carrying cargo that is about to explode any minute, all while evading TIE fighters in the most dangerous asteroid field in the galaxy, literally called the Maelstrom. I also like how the Star Destroyer shows up. They use the Empire theme from A New Hope. Never hear that anymore, it's just funny. One last thing about this scene I wanted to mention is the music as a whole. They use a lot of stuff from A New Hope and Empire, and you would think it's just a fat steaming load of fan service, but it actually doesn't feel that way. It's perfectly blended with the movie's own score and ends up sounding very cathartic to listen to. Here's a clip, I just sped it up a little due to copyright. Sounds great. A lot of people don't like that the Force wasn't in this movie, which is fine, I guess. The Force is a big part of Star Wars, and for a lot of people that can be a deal breaker. But not me. Force or not, this is a great movie. Sometimes it's fun to see what the Star Wars world is like for people who don't have the Force, when they aren't tied to the fate of the universe. It's just a fun space adventure movie with fun characters. That's all I really need. Solo, a Star Wars story, is a great movie. More people should watch it. I guess I did just spoil a lot of it though. Yeah, my bad. For actual movie quality, I give this movie a 7.5 out of 10. But for the enjoyability of it, I give it an 8.5 out of 10. Averaging those together, we get...
Solo!
8 out of 10. Good day.
Tonight, finally feeling free and it feels so right. Oh, time to do the things I like. Gonna see a princess, everything's alright. Oh, no job but an answer to. Ain't a fixture in the palace zoo. No, and since the carbonite's off me, I'm living life now that I'm free. Yeah, told me get myself together. Now I got myself together. Now I made it through the weather. Better days are gonna get better.